from here on. The co-host with me will be Ralston, but I think he's grabbing some food because he was hungry, and therefore, in the meantime, while I run through the background, if somebody is very hungry, they can't go and get the food, okay? To get their food from the lady. We have made an arrangement with the lady that the food will be of a reasonable price. That is, she's not selling anything above £5. And she's also selling homemade ginger drink and quite a lot of other drinks. And on the other hand, if somebody would want to have a beer with their food, I think we do have the beer and these other funny drinks, Coca-Cola and other things like that. I don't recommend them myself. That's why I don't know their names. Now, what we will do is that in a minute or two, after I've done the geography for you, I'll try and get through the background, where we are, and then I'll hand over to Ralston to introduce the first speaker, who will be Stanford, as some people know him as Stanford, but his new name is Akram Dyer. Just to give you a background of also where we came from, how we came up with the idea, and how we took it to Galaxy and made it a big idea that involves all of us. And after that, I will have the only child that I allowed here is Maega. He will tell you why he's here, and you will listen to him. After that, then we'll have our speakers. Among the speakers so far, I can see, I've got Petronia, she's with me. I've got Lorna Campbell, I've got Khalid with me, and I've got Greg with me. So I'm not doing so bad as I'd been starting to worry, but other speakers are about to come. All they are going to do is to emphasize the idea of unity among us in order for us to mobilize the funds that we need to be who we are, rather than having to depend on somebody else. Because all we are trying to fight against is dependency. And therefore, we want to get on from there. Now, for you, if you want to use, the geography of this is this. When you come in, we have got some stalls at the back, and the food is also now there, I can see it. Ralston is having his food right now. Now, when you go through that room, at the end is where we have the ladies and gentlemen. Now, in case of a fire, it is something we have been told always to tell people. Always go after the green man. Whenever you see a green man, you just have to press hard on those doors, and they will open, and therefore we'll be able to leave. But they are all over the place. The setup here is quite good in that if there are too many going there, some can go through there and some can go through the back. And if more people do come, we'll take away that board at the back so that we can all be together. But right now, I think it is enough for us to use this space as it was. Now, what I will do is I'll grab my paper and take you through quickly what we here, where we have been and where we want to go, and why we are here. So I'll take off my glasses. Allow me to switch off the phones, otherwise. Sorry about that. So once again, greetings to you all. Somehow we are praying for a fruitful day today, and we are hoping that there will be memories made out of today which we can share in the future. And mainly we worry about our young ones, especially those ones who are starting on their lives. And for some of us, it may be a bit late, but we could enjoy when the others are enjoying. That is, they will look after us. Now, we know for a fact that we must resolutely never again doubt ourselves. We shouldn't doubt ourselves. That is the main problem with us as Africans. And by Africans, I'm using the same words that Peter Tosh mentioned. It doesn't matter where you live. So long as you're black, you're an African. Whether you're from Brazil, whether you're from the Caribbean, whether you're from India, it doesn't matter. And for some reason, there has been some psychological barrier which we have to break in order to be who we are. And we ought to have that confidence to go ahead. And what we have discovered, for example, is that, as people will tell you, is that we have done very well politically. In other words, in Africa, you have countries saying to themselves they are independent. We have here in the UK councillors and even politicians in parliament who are black. But the question is, we have even another man in America, Obama. But the question is he looking after you and me? I don't think so. So we have got to find a way. It is not just having somebody somewhere to idealize and then you actually do not get any benefit out of it. Now, what we want to do is, as a people, we have done very well politically, so they say, but then we have not done well at all economically as a group. Indeed, we have some people who have got loads of money. You find there was a Nigerian man in the news last week. He gave his wife 170 million in settlement. And I wish he could just give us 2 million and ours would take off straight away. But he has given it to his wife and that's it. And the wife already had the money. So we say that we are all aware that we're embarking on a new journey based on an old idea. So we are not claiming for any one single moment that we have come up with a great new idea. No. So, and this is something that has been long preached by Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Kwame Nkrumah, and many others, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. What we offer is a new formula that attempts, and the attempt is to create a transparent, accountable process from which we can all gain, including those less able than ourselves. Because the system we have in place, if we follow it, you go to work, you tell everybody you're working hard, and once you say you're working hard, you're working for yourself. You're not working for anybody else. But we're saying, what about the less able among us ourselves? What about the children of tomorrow? I've got a very good example. You have many of our young ones going to prison. It is my personal witness statement that the people I've spoken to in prison tend to be very, very intelligent. Now I ask myself, why are they in prison? For me, it appears, and this is my personal experience, I'm not saying this is a general feeling or this is a general way of looking at it from you. You can take your own experience. My view is that those people have somewhere in their brain said they cannot fit in the 9-to-5 job. So because of refusing that, what can we do for them? So far, we have been looking at them as if they are shaming us. We are saying, oh, those boys are crooks, those girls are dirty, and what have you. But for me, it isn't that. It is because we have not had a system in place to support them. And probably if we had a system, an economic system, a young man comes to you and says, I'm a rapper, and you say, where do you come from? And he says, oh, I've lived all my life on my own with my mom in Brixton, and I can't find anybody to sponsor me. Why can't our organization look at that boy? Because no bank, no sponsor will look at him, he will say, oh, probably you're too dark. I can't see how I can sell you. And these are the things we forget, that if we invest in those young people, and the only way to invest in them is from our own money. This idea of sending your girl or boy and saying to them, oh, go see whether charity can help you. Nobody's going to help you because The slave master has got one way. The slave master is never going to help you to be his equal. That is a given. But we tend sometimes to forget that the slave master will be nice because he said, sit down, have a cup of tea with me. No, he's not wanting you to be his level. So how do we invest in our young people if we can't help those ones who are going astray? And they're not going astray because they want to, but that is the impression given. Oh, black people are a bit not straight, and so they don't look you in the eye. Or whatever nonsense they throw at us. But it is because they do not want to look you in the eye for a reason. There has to be a reason. I, for one, when I first arrived in this country, I found it difficult looking people in the eye. I thought, why are they looking me in the eye? That's not how I do with my dad. I just look at him and look away, look at him and look away, and it worked for me. And the same at school, because an eye, from where I came from, was something that challenges the other person in front of you. I've learned to do it, so I look in the eye, I don't care. But that is not an attitude, because the other one doesn't look in the eye means that he's dodgy, because that is the impression they get. And there are so many things we can do for our community, for our people, but we are not making the effort. So these are the challenges we have had, and my brother who is pointing the camera at me is somebody I sit with at Garracks Radio, and we encourage people to phone in, and when they phone in, they are always saying, what are you doing for the community other than talking? And then we got many brothers coming out with many ideas. One of them was our brother Akram, and Akram challenged us, and so this is about 3 years ago. He said we can form a cooperative. A cooperative is something that does not have the founders as the owners, as happens with many organizations. With many organizations, the founders are the owners of the organization. So we agreed, yes, we'll come on board. We went on board and we started. We had to draw a constitution and have the organization registered. It took us, as many people will affirm here, over 2 years to have it registered. Why? Because we had a proviso in the constitution that this organization was going to promote people of African ancestry. And the Financial Services Authority and UK Cooperative were of the view we're being racist. And therefore, they refused, they said they were not going to register us. So over time, we went on and on and on and on and on and on. Eventually, our persistence broke their back and they gave in. And we felt so happy because one of the things we did was to threaten them that we're going to take people to a march to the FSA headquarters, and in the city, they don't want people turning up in big numbers. So that may have helped. And for that, I thank a brother who is not yet here. He's called Dr. Abu Jatata. He said he will organize those people, and indeed he was going to organize those people. Dr. Abu Jatata, when he comes, I will introduce him to you. But I think he's held up somewhere. So that is where we have been, and once we got registered, then we had to find a way of creating structures that when I go away tomorrow, any one of us can then do the job that I'm doing, so long as we have the structures. Many a time, we do not create structures, and yet it is simple. So what we have done with this one is that any of us does not own it. You are only a trustee for a time. And what we'll do, once the organization starts kicking off properly, we are hoping that in January next year, we will have the first general meeting. That is, if you all guys become registered, then we will have a first general meeting, and in that general meeting, we will elect an